Today, we're going to be talking about that incident out in Phoenix. We got an article about it. A Rock Machine member, as well as a Vagos member, were killed in this incident. And it just makes you feel really bad for the parties involved. Both of them had kids and stuff. And you got to ask yourself, is everything worth it over a piece of cloth? There are kids now without fathers, and you have the internet ablaze because there's actually a video of the incident, which is being put out there by all kinds of people. I guess that there was a civilian, as we call it. There's a kitty cat right there that filmed what went down, and they posted it, and it just got a life of its own. And the comments are just ridiculous when you see it. Okay, this out of ABC 15, Arizona. Fight between two motorcyclists escalates to deadly shooting and crash in Phoenix. Again, they don't have the club names in here. I do know the clubs that were involved in it. Two motorcycle riders got into a fight that led to gunfire. Basically, what happened when the incident was that the Vago and there was a member of the Rock Machine on a motorcycle. I guess they've had some past beefs or something like that. And the Vago walked up to him, emptied a clip into him, and then went strolling around in the road, I guess. But unbeknownst to him, that there was another member of a Rock Machine inside of a car. And yeah, it didn't end well, man. It was like The Walking Dead against freaking a car there. He just freaking hit the gas. It was some gangster stuff, man. And that video that everybody's talking about does show that, which, yeah, again, we're not gonna. Two men have died after a fight between two motorcycle riders escalated to gunfire and the vehicle collision. It wasn't a vehicle collision. Near 7th Ave and Interstate 7, they do have the crime scene up there. As you can see, the helmet on there, the bikes laid over and stuff. I don't know if it was an ambush type of deal from one to the other. Officers said they responded to the area just before 11 o'clock for the crash involving motorcycles. When officers were headed to the crash, they learned two motorcycle riders had gotten into a fight that led to a shooting. I'm telling you what happened in the days of bare knuckles, man, or freaking knives or chains and bats, it's just ridiculous now that somebody has to pull out a piece and empty a clip on somebody. According to the police, the man who fired the shots was then hit by the vehicle. Both the shooting victim and the man hit by the car were transported to hospital with life-threatening injuries. And again, authorities say both men died at the hospital. Detectives are investigating the incident. That's where you shake your head when a video is being thrown around, especially with people that covered his biker stuff. The cops go right to where they think somebody would hang out and watch content. We've had this a million times in the past. They'll watch the comments, try to identify if somebody has information. Next thing you know, they're interviewing them, and next thing you know, it goes downhill for the participants in that deal. So I heard that the one that got shot had 6 kids, and the Vago had kids as well. So now, over this kind of stuff, these kids aren't going to have Christmas with their parent, which is really sad. Yeah, I know it's this time of year. It's sad at any time of year, but the kids going without their father because of some beef that, you know what, actually, if you look at it, you're not making any money. What is it all about? Insults and colors. So you put yourself out there, and this is anybody, any club, to go out and beef, and you're not even making anything from it. I never understood that at all. Why somebody would want to do life in prison and you ain't making nothing. Maybe it's just, I think, a different way. But if you really look at it, what the hell? Especially when you have clubs that after a couple years, they won't even remember who the hell you are. So why put yourself through something like this? And if there was a beef between the two individuals, sit down. There's no need to empty a clip on anybody. And for those that are saying, well, what the hell, the guy had a gun. He was walking around in the freaking street. By all accounts, man, especially with what's going on in this country right now, with all these shooters and stuff, I think the guy in the car had every right to go and do what he had to do. Because here's a guy walking around and he sees a brother laying on the ground, just a clip emptied into him, and he took care of business, man. Yeah, it's gangster, but he was protecting. And if you look at it, that could be a self-defense type of argument. I don't know where Phoenix is with the stand your ground law. I do know that he was questioned and released. And that's because you got a guy walking around with a gun in the middle of the street after just blowing somebody up with a clip. Is he a danger to anybody else? So what the other guy did with the rock machine was pretty legit, if you ask me. Meaning he stopped something from happening to other people. That's the way they're going to be looking at it with the news media and the cops. They're going to be looking at the same thing. But when you got a video going around and you got comments going on in the section, then they start, they're busybodies. They keep going and going and going, and they start making up stuff that really didn't happen, if you know what I mean. So that's why you got to be real careful, especially in this niche, about what you put out there. One policy that myself and Dragon has, we will only talk to those that call shots for the clubs. And the reason we do that is we're not gonna take BS, gossip, and all that kind of stuff, put it out on the net where everything, once you put it on the net, it stays there, to damage a club. You got a lot of out bad people for one, you know what? For good reasons or bad, the politics aside, you got people out there that have a chip on their shoulder, and they're going to feed you everything they can to try to make their club look bad. And the club cannot come back out and, come on the internet and say, hey, this is what's up. It don't work that way. It never has worked that way. So for the respect, you got to give the clubs that deal not dealing with these people. Or if they got a member and you know he's a legit member feeding you information, but he wants to be off the record, you got to ask yourself, well, why the hell is he doing that? If he's not man enough to go to his own club and he comes to us, what does that say to you about that person? What's it say to you if he can't confront his own guys and he has to run to you? That's what a lot of the creators don't understand, because they don't understand the scene. They don't understand how it operates. They don't know the politics of it. You have, and like I said, well, I have this information and that. You got it from people that won't go on record about it or have some kind of chip on their shoulder from their former club. That's what you got. You don't have both sides of the story. I'm just saying, man, I feel really bad and heartbroken for the families of both clubs, because this is something that could have probably been solved by just sitting at the table. That's why I was really happy to hear, a couple months ago, a lot of the big clubs are trying to sit down, work everything out. That's really the way it needs to be. Because after all, you're not gangsters. You're supposed to be club guys. Now, if you want to be gangsters, then don't get butthurt when you're called a motorcycle gang. Let's not be hypocritical. Claim what you are. But to go as far as shooting and the beefs that they do, you just sit down, solve the crap, put your peckers away. It ain't the biggest pecker contest. And do good for your club, your brothers, and especially their families, because the families suffer now. There's going to be 2 funerals that shouldn't have happened, and it's the beginning of December. Christmas holiday, man. Unbelievable. Let me know what you guys and gals think in the comments section. As always, don't forget to join the members only, man. We got hundreds of videos that only members can see. And we started off at 99 cents because we know damn well people are having a hard time right now. Anyway, we'll let you go. Rock on.
Join the Insane Throttle Members Only Club on YouTube or Spotify and receive exclusive content. Your membership in the Throttle Club helps keep the show going strong.